Hello, my lovely friends. I'm Michaela. Welcome to my astrology channel, Today Energy. This is an overall general yearly forecast for 2023 for all of you born with ascendant, sun, and or moon in Cancer. So, dear Cancer, general forecast for 2023, especially for you. Now, on the global scale, we might expect some social shifts and changes because 3 outer planets and the karmic lunar nodes are changing signs. But if you wonder if those changes will influence you precisely this year, the upcoming 2023, then you really have to know your natal chart, because it very much depends not only on the positions like the signs in which you have your natal planets, your important points like ascendant, descendant, MC, IC, but also depends on their precise degrees. That is why if you still didn't have a look on your natal chart, go to websites like astro.com or astroseek.com and build for free there your natal chart. You have to know your time of birth as well, precisely for that. And in my video today, I will be mentioning specific degrees related to the transits we will discuss in 2023, hence which cancers will feel those events this year, which might feel some transits later in life. But of course, once again, this is like a very general forecast, and much more precise and personal are the personal readings, chart readings and forecasts. But let's dive in, and here I will share with you my screen. So you can see this is a chart of a transit, the sky around Earth with the slow outer planets. Well, and Mars as well I have included. Somewhere from the beginning of 2023, it's not a natal chart of any precise person, because I want to make it generally for all cancers, but that is why I chose Cancer to be the rising sign on the horizon. So it's a chart built on a whole sign system manner, even though I must say in my private consultations, I work with a Placidus system, which exactly takes into consideration the very precise specific degree of your rising sign and each house cusp, and of course each personal planet and so on. But here at least, I will be pointing you what planets I'm talking about, where are they going, what they are doing, which degrees they cover. And of course, we do this from the perspective of Cancer rising or Cancer sun or moon. So at the very beginning of the year, on the 12th of January, after 2.5 months of uncomfortable retrograde movement, the speedy planet Mars, with all its passion, motivation, and ambitions, stops, turns, and goes direct again. So to be honest, around the 12th of January, when the planet is completely frozen, as if from our earthly perspective, you might, and we all might feel quite intense, especially you might feel internally intense. There might be some anger issues, or of course try to avoid some confrontations, especially with your children, loved ones, or at work with superior people, authorities and parents. But already after this 12th of January, a couple of days later, several topics in your life, the houses ruled by Mars and the house where Gemini is in your chart, will be kind of unstuck and will gain speed, will gain momentum, and there will be more action, more passion, more drive. And we're talking in your case about the topics of the 5th house. So relationship with your romantic partner, passion in life, having fun in life, enjoying yourself, sharing your talents with others. Your business will move forward. Your creative projects will keep developing. And yes, we said like all the plans regarding children and all the relationships with children, work with children, and passion in your romantic relationships. As well, we see that Mars rules also your 10th house. So definitely more improvement in your public status, in your career, at work, whether you're applying for a job, whether there is some competition, you will be much more agile, brave, self-confident, fighty. As a status, of course, some legal matters related to marriages, to divorces, to relocations might as well have some development, and there might be some action here. More success at work, definitely, and within your public role. And last but not least, Mars makes this maneuver in your 12th house. So subconsciously, you might start feeling less tired, more motivated to dive into your psychology, to do some spiritual practices, to travel to faraway lands. Maybe immigration process will move on. You might eagerly finish some things, burn some bridges, get rid of some bad habits, self-undoing habits. You might fight against some internal fears, traumas, more psychological work, basically. More passion into some also artistic and creative activities. And by the way, more success in remote work done in isolation, healing processes, preparing something quietly, maybe, researching something, preparing your master thesis, or wherever you do more in isolation will go more smoothly now. You might find also some lost things. Then on the 8th of March, we have an important transit. After around 3 years going through Aquarius, Saturn will move into Pisces, where he will stay until February 2026. Last time Saturn was in Pisces in 1993 to 1996, in case you would like to remember what was going on in your life back then, 28, 29 years ago, because we have the same key players here. It's Saturn, the big inspector, moralizer, and it's Pisces, it's your 9th house. Well, yes, Saturn, but first let me tell you how Saturn was doing in Aquarius in your 8th house and what he is finishing now here before the 8th of March. Well, Saturn was structuring the topics of 8th house, which is passive incomes, shared resources, all sorts of loans, insurances, mortgages, scholarship, alimony, taxes. So here you better put your accounts to be very precise, very well organized, very clean. Saturn is the planet of karma, and it's not about punishment, right? Karma is about causes and effects. Everything that Saturn brings is for some good reason, for some previous actions and decisions. And Saturn can bring also rewards and awards in 8th house. Saturn might bring you the desired scholarship if you have been putting efforts into studying and achieving good grades. Saturn in 8th house can bring you a very reliable, very stable, committed personal relationship that you can have faith and trust on your partner, right? Again, if you have chosen the right person for you. When Saturn was kind of previously walking through your 7th house. Saturn can give you here paying off from your investments. If you were serious about, let's say, building a property or repairing it in order to rent it and take higher price, so you had to probably invest before that in your property in order to sell it for a better price, right? Saturn can give through 8th house inheritances as well. because 8th house talks about death and rebirth. Is a scorpionic location house. And so here some of you maybe got pregnant, gave birth, because this is of course, it's a big happiness, but also it comes with huge responsibility. And yeah, regarding finances, whatever was in debt to you, was owed to you, was probably given back to you. But whatever you was owing to someone else, you don't stay a debtor at the end of this Saturn transit. You also repay your duty, whether financially or psychologically as well. Regarding intimate relationships, because Saturn is a planet of narrowing down things, going to basic, being very rigid, very strict, cooling off. So here maybe people decide to become a bit more ascetic, to allow like less, let's say, mundane pleasures, less, you might decide to go into, I think it's called abstinence mood, when you abstain from like intimate relationships and so on. So 8th house is very deep psychological area of our chart. It's very emotional. And here it's good to have Saturn because he can cool off your emotions, make you more grounded, make you more self-disciplined. If you would like to deal with kind of these demons from your subconscious, because yes, Saturn can open the closet so you can see them, so you can meet them, but he helps you to train them like, you know, like a good big dog, so you can then walk them out without fearing them. Saturn shows you your vulnerabilities, your phobias, your fears, your traumas, and he wants you to put a good effort to accept them, to work through them, to take the precious, the valuable lessons and to release them and to control them. It's about self-control, control of bad habits, getting rid of addictions, obsessions of bad habits. Saturn is a great master, great teacher here. Yeah, relationships must be really like committed and serious. Diving deep into your psychology, Saturn can be a good teacher, a good mentor, a good psychologist with whom you can work out these things in a very organized manner, cool-headedly, no stress. Of course, Saturn here can bring some troubles, problems, cataclysms, because he must show you, because he must show you what you have to confront and be brave about it. And Saturn teaches you maturity, responsibility, self-control regarding spendings, finances, business, personal relationships, having a child, paying a debt of, maybe you'll finish paying your mortgage, and of course, doing some wise investments. And then Saturn moves into your 9th house, and here he starts structuring your belief system, your values and value system, your faith. Because 9th house usually talks about optimism, faith, expanding your knowledge, your horizon. And Saturn is a bit, you know, streamlining, narrowing it down. So you can't have it all. Saturn will make sure that through your experiences and knowledge, through serious, dedicated, long-term studies, you are gaining your wisdom. You become a very strict principled teacher, mentor, expert. Maybe you are here graduating, maybe you go for a master degree or doctor degree, so you have to write your dissertation, for example. So it's a big effort, you know. You have to think seriously about the purpose of your life and about your life goals and life direction, because here you choose them, Here you set your mind about them. Here you learn, study, and prepare. And then already a couple of years later, Saturn will move into your 10th house to structure and organize your career based on your belief system and your knowledge, your opinions. So you have to think about long-term goals, nothing superficial. Saturn is the real deal. Saturn is the planet of karma and of time. So he doesn't want you to waste time just with pleasures, fun, just random social events, gala dinners. Because 9th house is about being celebrity, being popular, having an idol. You can become this idol for others, but people will respect you for something tangible you have achieved. Really, Saturn is about respect. Saturn might introduce you here some fears, like feeling vulnerable when you're on a stage, like feeling that I'm not yet prepared enough, I don't know enough, can I express my opinion? You might feel too shy, too insecure, because you wouldn't like people to laugh at you, right? Because everyone wants respect and applauses from audience and people to agree with your knowledge, with your thesis and so on. So here, try to avoid skepticism, try to avoid fear. Just, be yourself, express your opinion, but it's good to prepare. It's just good to prepare more time, maybe repeat your speech before going on the stage several times. And you will achieve very serious and long-lasting respect and results. You might publish something tangible, physical. Yes, Saturn is very materialistic planet. So here is not only about sitting under the tree and philosophizing. It's about publishing a book. It's about something that future generations will even read and, remember you with that. Regarding opinions, 9th house is very opinionated, and with Saturn here, you should be careful not to fall into prejudices, into dogmatism, to become something like the Holy Inquisition, right? Because 9th house is our faith, and here you might turn to a traditional, organized religion, go to temples and churches strictly, follow the rites, follow the like fasting periods and reading the holy books, right? Not only just watch some documentaries. So go deep into it. Traditional sources of knowledge you might prefer. You might choose the oldest and most prestigious school, college, or university in your city or in your country. You might build very solid and strict moral code, ethics, like codex of behavior. And you might gain more mature perspective on yourself, on the world. Yes, there might be less kind of empty optimism, less blind faith, more that you have to touch, see, experiment in order to believe. Regarding traveling, there might be less opportunities to travel, or if you travel, it will be more like for work purposes or because you have a conference to attend and you have to present your book or, your studies or something like that, and less for fun. Now, also, you might think a bit more in the box and, doubt your opinions, but structure your faith, your knowledge. You might create some school, you might create some course, right? Because again, Saturn gives material results of long-term work, efforts, and good organization. And also, I must tell you that here is Neptune. We find Neptune in Pisces, and this year he will move from 22nd degree of Pisces till the 27th degree of Pisces. So here Neptune will soften a little bit the Saturnian boxed mind, and certainly Neptune keeps giving you hope, faith, dreams. 9th house is generally about dreaming big, but not to have some empty expectations. And still Neptune will keep introducing you more to the spirituality, to exploring, to expanding your knowledge. You might become a guru, a leader, inspirational figure for others, but Saturn will prevent you to fall for false gurus and false like idols. All right, then we have another serious transit, and that's Pluto transit. Now, for the last 15 years, Pluto was going through Capricorn, your 7th house, and we will live a historical moment. For the first time from its own discovery in 1930, Pluto will go into the sign of Aquarius, where he will stay for 20 years, till 2044. In 2023, Saturn will enter Aquarius on the 23rd of March, and he will reach just the 0 degree and 21 minute. Then he will turn retrograde and go back to the last 3 degrees of Capricorn to finish something here. This is important to know, and here come into play the degrees, because if your rising sign, your ascendant, your sun or moon are in the last 3 degrees of Cancer, hence, if your ascendant is here, your descendant will be in the last 3 degrees of Capricorn, then Pluto will influence you very much in 2023. Frankly, the ones with sun, moon, or rising sign at 29 Cancer will still feel Plutonian influence by transit up to the autumn of 2024. For the last time, I promise. After the autumn of 2024, even the last degree Cancers will be transformed and liberated from this heavy transit. Now, regarding Pluto, what does Pluto make towards your positions? Well, it makes an opposition. This aspect is an intense aspect. It does talk about relationships, even more so. We have here double whammy because Pluto is in your house of partnerships and relationships. And of course, any point of oppositions between planets is that through other people, you learn about life, you learn about yourself, because other people are like mirrors, like reflections of your own blind spots that you don't know consciously, that you pushed, whether because you wanted so or unconsciously, you push them into your unconsciousness. Yes, it might be some inner darker obsessions, desires, or fears, or something you are feeling guilty or shamed about. And especially those are, yes, heavy topics, because here we don't talk about Venus, but we talk about Pluto, the lord of the underworld, the lord of psychology and deep self-analysis. And of course, when we have an opposition, that means that not us, but someone else, and in this case, some people or institutions with whom we interact closely, or we have contractual relationships like contracts, agreements, or we work with them, or we live with them, they kind of act in a Plutonian way, or we meet Plutonian people to teach us important lessons and to help us transform. Unfortunately, in Pluto case, that might be through some force, through pushing you, through controlling you, or power struggles, through inducing you with fears, through strengthening your survival instinct, through extremes. Yeah, Pluto is very black or white. Either we are together, like entangled, or we are completely separated and I don't care about you anymore. It's through internal or external shocks. And this is how Pluto works to transform you, to purge things from you, for you to experience some catharsis and rebirth. Pluto, throughout his transit in your 7th house, maybe faced you with Plutonian type of people, like powerful, rich people, strong people, intense, sexual, magnetic. There might be politicians or financial experts, businessmen, even people from the underworld, the mafia, you know. There might be obsessive, possessive, suspicious, jealous, intense. Generally, the word for Plutonic relationships is very passionate, toxic sometimes, or simply very intense. And clearly, unless in a movie, and we can watch a movie and cry and experience catharsis and so on with deep feelings, but movies last about 3 hours top, right? Or like a TV show with, I don't know, 10 episodes. But in real life, people cannot survive psychologically such intense relationships as per Pluto. Thanks God that he will be soon leaving your 7th house. And generally, like in personal charts, natal charts, where we see Pluto prominent, like, you know, there is a big intensity in life of people. There are big fears, big traumas. People feel vulnerable. And here maybe your partners act this way, like threatening or aloof or like manipulating, because they have their own traumas and they're so scared about them. But because Pluto is opposing this year your natal sun or moon or rising sign, maybe you are the person who actually invites in your life such people, because you have in yourself these impulses, these instincts, these fears. And the more we fear and try to hide our vulnerabilities by Pluto, paradoxically, the more vulnerable we become. We don't have to we should not let fears control us. We should not let other people control us and manipulate us, whether through love, through money, through promises, and so on. So this transit expects a big work on yourself. If your sun is here, then it's work with your ego, with your ambitions, with your relationships with father, with male figures, with authority figures. If it's your moon here, then it's working with your femininity, your mother or your motherhood, feeling secure and safe in life. How do you feel satisfied and happy? Your home might be undergoing some changes and transformations, your family life. And of course, if it's on the axis of your ascendant descendant, then your relationships might pass through big highs and big lows, like a roller coaster. There might be some revelations, some secrets being revealed. There might be some, you know, traumatic experiences, unfortunately, even violence, codependency, but it all eventually, Pluto hides things under the rug, he buries deeply, but then all of this explodes in our face as a volcano. So that's why it's important to gradually and constantly work with Plutonian energy, like maybe actually Pluto represents psychologist in your life, or occultist, or astrologer, tarot reader. Maybe you become such consultant for people. Maybe with, you know, Saturn in 9th house, you study psychology in university and you practice already with clients, or you practice astrology. You help people in some difficult situations, but most importantly, you have to gain this source of power within yourself. You are your truest and most stable support. You don't have to look for support in others. And also, throughout this transit, Pluto will clean the superficial people, the passers-by. So he will let with you to stay just the most faithful, the most truthful, loyal, honest ones in your life. And then Pluto goes into your 8th house. Yes, of course, next year we will just have a foretaste about this, just a couple of months. But then already for 20 years, he will be transiting your 8th house. It's like a home for Pluto, because 8th house is ruled by Scorpio, ruled by Pluto. It's a house of deep emotional transformations. And how nice that Saturn first passed through here. Before they discovered Pluto, Saturn was more wearing Plutonian qualities, like the planet of difficult situations, of difficult lessons, of death. But now Pluto took on this significance. And 8th house is the house of death and rebirth. So, you know, first Saturn prepared you here with some strong kind of faith and strong nervous system and organized emotions, your inner strong core, right? Your spine, because Saturn represents bones system. So now you're more prepared for Pluto, and Pluto will dive even deeper into topics that Saturn just managed to revise and to clean. So, okay, death and rebirth. So yes, there might be some death in family, but also Pluto is the planet of big finances, and 8th house is about inheritances. So you might receive inheritance, you might receive huge financial support, like from banks, from institutions. Your partner might start working some business and become very wealthy and very powerful. But again, here you have to be careful. 8th house is even deeper relationships than 7th house, is the sharing something together, like sharing household, income, business. So be careful not to fall under the control of these people and codependency. Be smart about how much you can take from the world as investments, as grants, as support, as mortgages, whether you will be able to later pay them off, pay them back, right? Sexual appetite definitely can grow here, and sexual relationships, but they might be also very intense. Of course, death and rebirth, some of you, Cancer, can expect in those next decades here, pregnancy, becoming parents, having children, because this is a big transformation. The 8th house is about experiencing transformation, and maybe it can be purely physical, that you will have some surgery, some plastic surgery maybe, change your appearance, change your look, or your body will transform through childbearing and giving birth. What else? 8th house, of course, is a deep psychological work. And here there is no one better than Pluto to uncover even the deepest skeletons buried within your psyche. So yes, Saturn cleaned here the more kind of obvious fears, traumas that you can feel in your body through your nervous system. But here Pluto will go way deeper into your subconscious. So you might want to practice regressions, constellations, hypnosis, meeting with shamans, working with tantra. So truly esoteric, psychological, going into the rabbit hole in a sense. So that's why it's important, of course, for you to ground yourself, but deep self-analysis, and hopefully you will reach out to a very professional specialist, a psychologist, because it's way better to do it under the supervision of specialists. And honestly, the deeper you dig, the brighter will be and more precious will be the treasure you will find inside of you, because our shadow, our subconscious is full of hidden talents and treasures that we just pushed into the closet together with other things we are afraid of and we feel vulnerable about. Here is just important to be completely honest with yourself, with your psychologist, with your partner, with the others. Yes, there might be hits in the back, betrayals, jealousy, infidelity, and so on. But this is all just to make you more aware of yourself, of what you want, what you don't want, what you can tolerate, what you can't, to make you stronger and more powerful. So, and to experience this rebirth and catharsis after this transit. More specifically, of course, look at, if you use Placidus, where is the cusp of your 8th house, in which degrees. You will meet your primal, instinctual self. But of course, Pluto in the 8th can mean really big, massive business, work in psychology, work in finances. Being very, very strong and powerful. Politics as well. Heal your deep inner traumas. And now let's go to something much more lighter and cheerful. Let's talk about the benefic planets. So Jupiter in 2023 will be passing through your 10th house until the 17th of May. He will cover from 2° Aries till the end of Aries. So check where you have your MCIC axis, because Jupiter will be supporting you, of course, being in 10th house, in your status, in your social achievements, in getting people's love, approval, solidarity, followers. You might become famous, especially if you work with something related to law, to international relations, international business, publishing, teaching, tourism, traveling. Yeah, so you might publish something, you might become a professor, you might become an expat, your status might change, you might move, relocate, get a new job, become a freelancer, you might get married. Yeah, because Jupiter often represents husbands in female charts. Jupiter also in Vedic astrology represents children, so maybe you are becoming a parent. Or you can become an uncle, an aunt, a mentor, yeah, teacher for kids. Jupiter is dignity, spirituality, wisdom. So this is how people will see you. People will see you as very benevolent, as larger than life, as very charismatic, inspiring, and wise. Okay. You might expand your living place. There might be addition to the family members, like a child or someone is getting married, and so on. And then on the 17th of May, Jupiter moves into Taurus. And this year he will reach 15th degree of Taurus. So this is your 11th house. Wow. 11th house is what we gain, our gains, right, from our work and career achievements, mission in life. Here you can reach your true purpose and mission in life. Jupiter is the planet of aiming, of having goals, of having purpose. And when he will be in 11th house, you will see your recognition, you will see your followers, your audience. Maybe, again, you're a teacher, maybe you are a blogger online. 11th house nowadays is everything on the net. Yeah, and we can access large communities, large groups of people. You will expand your social life, maybe more social events, more friends. Yeah, more people who understand you, who support you, who inspire you, or you inspire them. It's like you're finding your tribe, because not always we feel our family as the people in which family we were just physically born. I mean, I believe that it was all for a reason, that our souls are choosing the location, place, time, society, family, parents to whom to be born. It's karma, so they teach us something, we teach them something. But then, you know, 11th house, your social group is very important, your like-minded people. So you might attend courses of interest, touristic clubs, you might go to study to university and you will meet colleagues with same interests as you. You might join some political or non-political or social organization, become a volunteer, travel the world as a volunteer, right? Also, 11th house is your long-term goals, hopes, dreams, wishes. And here Jupiter will give you faith and optimism that you can achieve everything. The sky is the limit, that you are your own boss and co-creator with the universe. And maybe even he will help you materialize and fulfill already some of your goals and dreams. All right. And then next transit on the 18th of July, the lunar nodes, the north node here, like a horseshoe, and always across it goes the south node, like an inverted horseshoe or a wine glass. They move from Taurus into Aries, respectively, from Scorpio into Libra. And yeah, that's true, because they move almost always in a retrograde motion, so in the opposite zodiacal order. Rahu, or the north node, we call him also Rahu according to Vedic astrology, well, He points the point of interest, the he's like the magnifying glass. He brings fated events that drag us into the future, that help us grow, evolve, develop through the area of life that he transits for 1.5 years. And by the way, he was in your 10th house as well in 2005, 2006. So you can remember what was going on then with your professional and family life. And Rahu is insatiable. He is like the mouth of the dragon, he's called, because in Vedic mythology, Rahu and Ketu used to be one single entity, a demon who was very tricky. He stole from gods the elixir of eternal life. He drank it, so he became immortal as he was given place on the sky together with other deities. But the gods got angry and they cut him, split him into 2 halves. So now he has no body, but just a constantly hungry for new experiences mouth and a tail of the dragon, which always excretes, which is kind of disinterested, and there is no power and life force in Ketu. It's very like spiritual. It's about looking back, the past. I love to work with the lunar nodes in our natal charts. When I do the natal chart reading, I call it natal chart analysis. Effectively, for me, this is analyzing your soul mission on this earth. We always look at your position of Rahu and Ketu in your natal charts, but as transits, we observe them for 1.5 years, changing life areas, right? So the focus for you, the way to develop, the way to fulfill your life mission for this transit 1.5 years will be through your work, through your role in the society, through your public image. You might truly discover your life purpose, your mission in life, how you can be helpful to people. You might achieve great heights at work, a promotion, a own business, international work, more clients, more popularity and visibility. Rahu and Ketu usually symbolize something new, extraordinary, new technology, modernization, digitalization, and all of this in your career or whatever you do as your mission in life, because your mission might be stay-at-home mom or grandma who helps raising your grandchildren, or environmentalist or activist or volunteer in Africa and so on. In any case, Rahu is about sudden jumps. Saturn is usually like work hard, step by step, like with sweating, conquering Kilimanjaro or Everest with effort, while Rahu wants to cut corners. So it might give you sudden overnight success, or sudden change of course of life and new direction in life, new passion, new career, new status, right? Meanwhile, Ketu in the 4th house, so we still have focus on your personal life, but maybe less energy in your personal life, less attention to your parents, to your home, family. Maybe you need to let go of something that comes from your childhood experiences, memories, from your emotional world. Maybe this is holding grudges. Maybe this is offenses towards your parents or grandparents, some trauma. And here you see Pluto and Saturn will help you work through it. Either you are going abroad, so you will be a bit nostalgic and missing your home, or you are returning back home. Circumstances in your life change, less travel, Saturn in the ninth. So you go back home and suddenly you meet your old city, your old home. Things have changed. This is what I experienced when Ketu was transiting my 4th house. I came back home after a decade of living abroad, and this living abroad started with a volunteer project in Europe, in Central Europe, and then I just happened to stay there, where I went initially just for 6 months to be a volunteer in a political NGO for political affairs and researches. Well, and then 10 years later, I came home. Ketu was transiting my 4th house and my sun, so I honestly felt like a ghost. Either I was a ghost in a city which I didn't recognize anymore, my home city, but it was so much changed, and, no more old friendships and old love stories and so on. Or on the other hand, this city felt like a ghost town in my head. So yeah, it was somehow bittersweet moment, to be honest. So yeah, selling old property, selling old home, or coming back to old place, you have to repair it. So, right, so somehow still your attention is to finishing something relating to your family and property and place of living. But more sudden jumps and possibilities to develop will be in your career field. Also, some karmic events might be happening to your parents. And wherever we see passing the nodes, we experience eclipses. So let me read you the dates of the eclipses we will have next year in 2023, I mean. And don't worry, I will refer to each of these transits and events much more specifically. If everything goes well, of course, as we say in my country, in my language, if we all are alive and healthy, then I promise I will make separate videos for each transit in depth. So eclipses in 2023. First one is a solar eclipse on the 20th of April at 29 degrees Aries. It's with the North Node, it's squared Saturn, so it might bring you a powerful new beginning in your career or status related to your partners or some contracts and deals. Then we have on the 5th of May a lunar eclipse at 14 degrees of Scorpio, and that's your 5th house. It's with Ketu, the South Node. So it's also massive shifts and changes, releasing, letting go of some something in your, maybe some culmination you're reaching in romantic relationships, in relationship with your children, maybe some changes in their lives, maybe they're leaving home or something, because yeah, with Ketu and lunar eclipse, you have to leave something behind. It might be an old hobby, passion, way of having fun, or a romantic partner, yeah, clear some space in order for something new to come on its place. Then we have a solar eclipse on the 14th of October, and it's at 21 degrees Libra, that is your 4th house, because it's with participation of the South Node and of Mercury. So it might mean some relocations, some contracts, agreements, something related with people or places from the past. And then on the 28th of October, we have a lunar eclipse at 5 degrees of Taurus with the North Node, and that's your 11th house. Some social changes in your group projects, in your online activities, public activities. Maybe you will be paid off some money for your work, you receive some awards, rewards related to your social status. Okay, then we have our beautiful Venus that you don't see here on this chart, but Venus usually spends in each sign about a month on her transiting movement. But in 2023, she will stay in Leo 4 months, from 6th of June to the 10th of October, because she will be retrograding here. So when Venus in your 2nd house of work and income, that means your work becomes much more pleasant. You might work with women, with finances, with beauty, aesthetics. You might receive financial boosts and bonuses, which will make you very happy. Venus is happiness, joy, pleasure, friendships, love. You might meet love at work or make some good friendships. And 2nd house is also what we acquire, what we purchase, our material possessions, our body, our clothes, our furniture. So with Venus here, you might want to make your environment where you live cozy, beautiful, elegant, nice. You might spend money on this. You might spend money on your look, on your wardrobe, right? On your style and clothes, again, with pleasure. So big chances for nice income, and of course also good spendings. Well, Venus is in the second house. Second house is also your self-esteem. So here it's great to boost your love for yourself, for your body, pamper yourself, eat good, but be careful because Venus is carbs and sugars, and second house, you can gain some weight, but it's definitely important to love yourself, to appreciate yourself, to value yourself, your efforts, knowledge, anything that you are, yeah, your body, physical body as well, your time, if we talk about how much you're paid at work. But then we have this moment of retrograde Venus from 23rd of July till the 4th of September. So remember these dates, because in this period, Venus is not very comfortable. She moves backwards. So it's not the best time to start a new job, to negotiate your salary, to buy something very expensive or luxurious, especially if it's spontaneous. Now, if you have been researching before, if you have been waiting for the right offer, and now you see the good deal, and you have been wanting it for some time, then yes, retrograde Venus can give you second chance, or you can return some good and receive a replacement. Or you can refurnish your apartment with second-hand furniture, or yeah, because Venus, when Venus is retrograde, you can buy something vintage, or some antique might have a good deal for antique, right? Or how to say, like repaint your home or change the color of your couch, right? The fabric of your couch. Something like that, but don't buy a new couch, right? Because anything we do during Venus retrograde, if we do it for the first time, if we start a new relationship, if we start a new job, if we invest in something, buy something, if we do plastic surgery or beauty procedures, then once she goes back direct again, like normally, she can look back and say, oh my God, why did I do it? I don't like myself. I don't like my new nose. This person next to me, Jesus, right? It can happen the opposite case. Like you meet someone, you were offered something, you first think it's a bullshit, you don't like it at all. But then Venus goes direct and you're actually, hey, this neighbor is actually quite nice. Oh, or yeah, I would gladly have a coffee with this person, right? Because you re-evaluate. And while Venus goes retrograde, it's a great time to reassess, reevaluate what's truly important for you, what's truly valuable. Venus is the planet that can give price to things, to materials, to people, in a sense that, don't get me wrong, in a sense that qualities of people, sometimes people with strong Venus, strong Taurus, they can see people and say, okay, you can become a great architect. Oh, wow, I see your talent in cooking, right? So it's seeing talents of people and who is precious with what and unique. And yes, while Venus is retrograde, you can research the job market, maybe negotiate salaries, yeah, decide which job you want and so on. Give yourself time. Choose the new style for yourself. Try the clothes before purchasing them. Try the couch in the shop and so on. And of course, dig deep inside yourself and ask why I love, like, with what am I precious, unique, valuable, right? How can I love myself more? And thus others will love myself more as well, me more as well. All right. Mercury will be retrograde 3 times in 2023. Let me give you some dates as well. First time, Mercury is retrograde from 21st of April till 15th of May in Taurus. So you will be rethinking your friendships, your group activities and projects, your community. Maybe some old friends will call you for a meeting, some news from past acquaintances, or you can get back to some old website or online community or group of people, and you can be paid off some salary that you were expecting for a long time for your professional activity and merits, or some, prize, receive some prize for that. From 23rd of August to the 15th of September, Mercury will be retrograding in your third house in Virgo. Well, here it's a second chance to go back to school, to take some exams, reassess your communication style and people with whom you do business. It's not a good time to start a new online deals, business, or buying or selling. You can repair your car, your vehicle, start choosing a new one, but it's not a good time to launch a new business, launch a new PR campaign, or buy a completely new car. It might be secondhand, by the way. You might get back to communication, to contact with your siblings, for instance. And then last time, 13th of December to the 1st of January 2024, Mercury will retrograde between Capricorn and Sagittarius. Especially you will feel it if your rising sign and hence your descendant is between 8 and 0 degrees of these two signs, because then Mercury will go 3 times over your descendant. So you will be negotiating something, changing your mind about partnerships, about people, about contracts. It won't be a good time to sign completely new agreements, and it might be related to work, to your routine, to the office, to your employees, people who help you in your daily life, people to whom you help. So basically, you will reassess also your work and as well, by the way, your health. So dear Cancer, that's how 2023 in broad strokes looks like for you. Look at this chart, by the way. In any case, you have your rising sign somewhere in Cancer, I assume, or your sun or your moon. And when we count areas of life from them, that is the houses, you see that all the slow moving planet, the ones that bring big changes in our lives and attention to some areas of life, they're all in your upper hemisphere. So that means that your focus, generally speaking, will be mostly on your social life, on your self-expression in society, in public, on your leading role, on your work, on your career, on your status. Remember, Saturn and Pluto will be transforming your relationships, your financial area, your attitude, principles in life, vision of life, mission overall, where you are headed, with whom you are headed, where, right? Also, remember, the North Node will be in your first a bit of 11th house, then 10th house. So again, society, public role, reputation, work, career achievements. Here is Jupiter. Don't miss this transit of Jupiter boosting your role in society, your career. But of course, it might be also status, like marriages, like relocation, changing of passport, of surname, of residency, opening a business, and so on. Check also when Jupiter will be squaring your ascendant, descendant, because this might bring you more useful contacts, more inspiration, more like leadership role for you, more pleasant time with your partners, but also, mind you, more expectations, because Jupiter is inflating everything like a balloon, and it hopes for the best. It might overpromise. So, keep an eye on high over promising and high expectations. And yeah, we said that Venus will be boosting your financial area and work as well, right? So this is how overall generalizing the year will look like. Of course, I'm trying always, even in my general forecasts, to give you as much in-depth and precise information and degrees as I can. But if you are interested in personal astrological consultations with me, I will leave you a link how to reach me in the description below this video. I offer 2 types of services. One is natal chart analysis, which we do live in a Skype conversation. It's about 2 hours chat about your unique natal chart, which is like a unique fingerprint. It's all the, in my opinion, it's like the soul's mission pointed on the map about what you need to live through in this lifetime, what kind of family you need to be born in, what kind of family you want to establish, your needs in partnerships, your professional aspirations, your talents, what holds you back, right? The karmic notes, your ego, your mind, how it works better, and so on. Like you can see literally everything in a natal chart. But also, since we're talking here about forecasting, the second offer I give, consultation, second type of service, is the personal yearly forecast. I always do it for 12 months, whether calendar, like from the beginning of 2023 till the end of this calendar year, or to be honest with you, even better if you purchase it when your birthday is approaching, because then I'm analyzing your personal natal year energetically. It corresponds with your energy flow and your life from one birthday to the next birthday, 12 months. I use this technique that you see me doing in these videos, which is checking the transits. I use a couple of other astrological techniques, forecasting. My forecast, they take me 3 days to write it down, because I'm calculating, analyzing, thinking about how to explain it to you, how to be of most use to you, not like not playing a prophet, or not being fatalistic, like you will have this and this and that's it. So you read it and you're like, well, okay, so I sit on the couch and I wait for this and this to happen to me. No, I strongly believe in your willpower, in that fact that we are co-creators of our own reality. So the astrological forecasting for me is like a weather forecast. Yes, I can tell you it will rain this month and this month. Yes, this month will be a bit tougher emotionally, so kind of brace yourself, but do the best what you can with it. Maybe start learning astrology, or do some spiritual practices, or study something. So I give advices rather. And if we say as a forecasters, okay, it's gonna rain, then whether you will go out and dance under the rain, or you decide to repair your roof and to prepare for the rain not to flood your home, right? So it already depends very much on your personal life circumstances, current ones at the moment when you purchase this forecast. Then I deliver the forecast. It's usually 10 pages of Word document, which I send online. And it's like to read it through again and again and again. It's going to serve you as a report for the next 12 months. Usually my clients print it, they put it somewhere on the table next to them. They highlight with markers the key dates, which I point, and transits. So basically, I believe I put a lot of effort and in depth. I'm analyzing everything for every single client. So kind of who spends 4 days for one single person chart? It's a lot about energy. I'm kind of sometimes even dreaming these charts and so on. Anyways, my friends, so I'm leaving below my contact. I'm leaving the link to my social pages, the Facebook and Instagram page. If you would like to financially support me, my work, my channel, you can do it whether through clicking this heart button below the video with a dollar symbol inside. It's like a gratitude button. I believe it starts from something like €2 and more. And also I'm leaving in the description below this video my PayPal account, where you can also transfer me some gratitudes and donations. Thank you so much, dear Cancers. I wish you a truly amazing, beautiful, successful year, full of joy, full of new, nice, positive experiences of love, of growing, of discovering your true self and your true power. So enjoy 2023, take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.